Maria had worked at St. Clare Academy of Music for nearly a decade. Yet, hardly anyone ever truly noticed her. She was just the cleaning lady, the woman in the faded gray uniform who moved quietly through the grand halls, dusting chandeliers, mopping polished floors, and making sure the expensive instruments sparkled beneath the soft glow of the auditorium lights. The students never spoke to her. The teachers barely acknowledged she existed. To them, she was just another fixture, part of the school's daily rhythm. That evening, after most of the students had left for the day, a few staff members gathered in the auditorium, sharing a rare moment of leisure. Mr. Collins, the head violin instructor, leaned back into one of the plush seats, a smirk playing at the corners of his mouth. He carried himself with an air of superiority, convinced that only the classically trained had a place in the world of music. Beside him sat Mr. Davis and Ms. Reed, chuckling over tales of students who'd embarrassed themselves during the day's lessons. The mood was light, tinged with the kind of careless amusement that often sparks thoughtless choices. Maria had just finished wiping down the stage, her movements slow and methodical. She was about to leave when Mr. Collins called out, "Maria, you've been here for years," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. "Surely you've picked up something about music by now. Why don't you entertain us with a little performance?" Ms. Reed stifled a laugh. Mr. Davis smirked, clearly amused. They expected her to wave them off, to shake her head and scurry away like always. After all, she was just the cleaning lady. What could she possibly know about music? Maria paused, her hands tightening slightly around the cloth she was holding. For a moment it seemed she might just ignore them. Then, to their surprise, she turned toward them and gave a small nod. "I suppose I could play something," she said softly. The smirks faded, replaced by mild curiosity. Ms. Reed raised an eyebrow. "Oh, you actually know how to play?" Maria didn't answer. Instead, she walked toward the instrument stand at the side of the stage and gently picked up one of the school's finest violins. The polished wood shimmered under the lights as she ran, her fingers over the strings, testing the tension. Mr. Collins leaned forward, his amusement giving way to skepticism. He had spent his career training violinists. He could tell the moment someone picked up a violin whether they had any real experience. But Maria, her posture was different. There was a familiarity in the way she held the instrument, a quiet confidence that made his smirk falter. She positioned the violin under her chin, took a steady breath, and raised the bow. The auditorium fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. Then, she played the first note. What filled the room was not the screech of an amateur, nor the hesitant strains of a beginner. It was one pure note, rich, resonant, vibrating through the hall with a power that made the very air seem to hum. The staff members stiffened, their expressions shifting from amusement to disbelief. Maria kept playing, her fingers dancing across the fingerboard with ease. Each note flowed effortlessly into the next. The melody was unlike anything they had ever heard, haunting, sorrowful, yet unspeakably beautiful. It wrapped around them, pulling them into a world far beyond the cold walls of the academy. Mr. Collins swallowed hard,